My name is Catherine, 29, and I'm documenting this while it's still fresh because I still can't believe this is my life right now. My fiancé, Alex, 31, and I have been together for 4 years, engaged for 6 months, wedding planned for spring, living in my house that I bought 2 years before we even met. Everything seemed solid, or I was blind, probably the second one. A few nights ago, we were on the couch after dinner. Alex had been glued to his phone for weeks, but I figured it was wedding planning with his groomsmen. Then he put the phone down, took a breath, and hit me with, "I've been doing a lot of soul searching and research about relationship structures. I think we need to open our relationship." Starting immediately, I looked up from my laptop. What? Monogamy is honestly kind of archaic. I think we'd both grow as people if we explored connections with others. Ethical non-monogamy. It's very common now. This came out of absolutely nowhere. We'd never once discussed anything like this. "You want to see other people?" I asked. "I want us to have the freedom to see other people. Less pressure, more personal growth. We can still be primary partners." "And you've been thinking about this how long?" "A few months. Look, I'm not asking your permission here. This is what I need to be fulfilled. You can either get on board with this, or we can end things right now. Your choice." The way he said it, cold, decided, like he'd rehearsed this. "Okay." I blinked, threw off my rhythm. "Okay, I'm on board. Open relationship starting immediately, like you said." His expression went through a rapid shift. Confusion, then surprise, then this forced smile that didn't reach his eyes. "Oh, well, good. I'm glad you're being mature about this instead of making it a big deal." "Yeah, super mature, that's me." He looked like he wanted to say more, but couldn't figure out what. He started talking about communication, boundaries, respecting each other's experiences. Sounded like he'd been reading forum posts. I nodded along. "So, we're both free to see whoever we want, right?" "Well, technically yes, but we should establish some ground rules first." "Nah, you said open. I trust you. We're adults. We'll figure it out as we go." He looked uncomfortable but couldn't really push back, since he'd literally just demanded this. That night, after he went to sleep, I downloaded Bumble, Hinge, and one other app. Made solid profiles, recent photos where I actually looked good, honest bio that mentioned being in an open relationship. Done. By the next morning, I had 18 matches. By the next evening, I had actual conversations going with several men. By the following day, 2 dates set up for the weekend. I wasn't hiding any of it. He asked what I was doing on my phone so much, setting up dates like we agreed. The look on his face, shock, anger, something that looked almost like betrayal. But he couldn't say anything because this was his idea. The next evening, he tried a different tactic. "So, I've been thinking maybe we should establish some clearer boundaries after all. Like, we should tell each other where we're going, who we're meeting, maybe have veto power." "Why would we need that? You said open. Those sound like restrictions." "It's not restrictions. It's communication. I am communicating. I have a date tomorrow night, another one the day after. Both seem like cool people." His face went red. "You already have 2 dates?" "Yeah, actually 3, but one's the following week." "Why?" "I just didn't expect you to jump into this so fast. You said starting immediately. I took that seriously. Problem?" He looked like he wanted to scream, but swallowed it. No problem. That's great." Friday came. I showered. Cologne. Nice button-down. Dark jeans. The works. He watched me get ready like I was preparing for my own funeral. "Where are you going?" "Told you. First date, dinner, maybe drinks after if it goes well." "With who?" "Man I matched with. Graphic designer. Really into horror movies and travel. Seems great." "A man?" "Yeah, got a few matches actually." Surprising how many people are into ethical non-monogamy these days. His hands were literally shaking. "You need to cancel." "Why?" "Because this isn't, you can't just, what? Do exactly what you demanded we do. This isn't how it's supposed to work then." "How's it supposed to work? Explain it to me." "I didn't think you'd actually go out with other people." And there it was. "So when you said open relationship, you meant you get to see other people and what? Sit at home? Wait for you?" Tears started. "You're being deliberately hurtful." "I'm being hurtful? You demanded this, gave me an ultimatum." I said, "Okay, now you're mad that I meant it. I thought we'd talk about it more first. I thought you'd fight for us." "You said, take it or leave it." Those were your words. I took it. What did you expect? He just stood there crying. I grabbed my keys. "This isn't fair." "You're absolutely right. It's not. But you started this, so here we are." I left, heard him yelling something as I closed the door. The date was honestly great. We clicked immediately. Conversation flowed. He was cool about my situation, said he'd been in open relationships before and understood the dynamic. We made tentative plans to see each other again. Got home late. Alex was waiting up, eyes swollen, mascara streaked. We need to talk right now. Okay. I want to close the relationship. This was a mistake. We're done with the open thing. That was quick. Less than a week. I realized it's not for us. So we're closing it back to normal. We or you? What does that mean? It means you wanted this. You demanded it. You threatened to end the engagement if I didn't agree. Now you want to take it back because I actually did what you said we could do. You know what I meant? You know what I was trying to say. I know exactly what you meant. You wanted permission to see someone else. You thought I'd either refuse so you could leave, or I'd agree and just sit here waiting while you explored. What you didn't expect was for me to have options, too. He started crying harder. I can't do this. I can't watch you with other people. Then you shouldn't have demanded an open relationship. I made a mistake. Yeah, you did. But that doesn't mean I have to pretend it didn't happen. I went to bed, woke up the next morning to find he'd moved to the guest room. That's where things are now. My second date is tonight, and I'm going. He can deal with the consequences of his own demands. The entitlement had reached levels I didn't think were possible. I woke up the morning after my second date to voices in my living room. Went downstairs to find Alex had assembled a whole intervention crew. His best friend, his sister, and his mom in my house. His mom started before I even got coffee. We need to discuss what you're doing to this family. Good morning to you too. Who let you all in? My fiancé, Alex said. I still have a key. We need to talk. Alex, you're destroying him. He's barely eating, can't sleep. You're being cruel. I'm being cruel. I agreed to what he wanted. His best friend jumped in. Oh, please. You know what he meant. He wanted to explore options, not watch you flaunt dates in his face. So, he wanted an open relationship for just him, his mom? I asked. That's not what he's saying. That's exactly what he's saying. He wanted me to stay faithful while he saw someone else. When I took the same freedom, suddenly I'm the bad guy. Alex spoke up from the couch, red-eyed and dramatic. I think you should stay with a friend for a while. Give me space to process. I actually laughed. Stay with a friend? This is my house that I bought before I even met you. You're making this impossible. Let me recap. You demanded an open relationship. I agreed. You expected me to not actually use that freedom. When I did, you tried to close it. When I wouldn't, you moved to the guest room. Now you want me to leave my house. Do I have that right? His best friend snapped. You're being a jerk about this. Everybody out. This is between us. You all need to leave. His mom. We're not going anywhere. Yes, you are. This is my property. You're here without my permission. Leave, or I call the cops for trespassing. That got them moving, but not before his sister said, You'll regret destroying this family. Once they left, Alex and I sat down. Who is he? I asked. What are you talking about? The guy. The reason you wanted this. There's someone specific. Who is he? Alex went pale. Don't lie. People don't wake up and demand open relationships out of nowhere. You had someone in mind. Who? Long silence, then quietly. Someone from work. Name? Why does it matter? Because I want to know who I'm apparently competing with. He told me. A younger guy. A new hire. They'd been getting coffee, having deep conversations, feeling a connection. Did you sleep with him? No, that's the whole point. I wanted the open relationship so it wouldn't be cheating. So you wanted a hall pass to test drive someone else while keeping me as backup? It's not like that. It's exactly like that. You wanted me locked down while you explored, except you didn't think I'd have options. What was the plan? Sit home while you figure out if he's better than me? I didn't think you'd find someone so fast. There it was. The real issue. You mean you didn't think anyone would want me? Or you thought I'd be too devoted to actually look? He didn't answer, just cried. Here's what's happening. I'm keeping my plans. I have another date lined up. You can stay in the guest room or leave. Your call. If you go on that date, I'm done. Engagement's over. I looked at him, really studied his face. This was a test. He wanted me to cancel, choose him, prove he was more important than my self-respect. Okay, we're done then. His face crumbled. You don't mean that. I completely mean it. You wanted an open relationship so you could see someone else without guilt. When I took you seriously, you tried to change the rules. Now you're giving ultimatums. Yeah, we're done. The ring. I want to keep the ring. Excuse me? Your grandmother's ring? It's mine. I'm keeping it. That ring is a family heirloom. It was never yours. It was lent to you as my fiancé. Since we're not engaged, I want it back now. You can't just take it back. It's not yours. It never was. He looked at his hand, then at me, realized I was serious, started crying harder, but pulled it off, threw it at me. Take it, take everything. You never loved me anyway. I caught the ring. I loved him enough to respect what he said he wanted, but I wouldn't be his safety net while he shopped around. I went on my third date that night. Different man, completely different vibe. We got coffee, walked around downtown, talked for hours. He's a teacher, wicked sense of humor, and didn't flinch when I explained my situation. We made plans to see each other again soon. Got home late to find most of Alex's stuff was gone. He'd taken clothes and essentials, left everything else. Got a text. Staying at my parents'. Coming for the rest tomorrow. Don't be there. I replied, it's my house. I'll be wherever I want. Text when you're coming and I'll have everything boxed up in the garage. I spent the next morning packing his remaining stuff. Wedding binders, decorations he'd bought, all his grooming products, boxed it all up. He arrived early afternoon with his dad and brother. His dad looked uncomfortable, like he knew this was awkward. His brother looked ready for confrontation. His brother immediately said, you really did this, huh? Threw away 4 years over nothing? Nothing? I demanded an open relationship so I could see someone else. That's not nothing. His dad, what? My ex-fiancé, Alex said. Dad, he's twisting. He didn't tell you? He wanted an open relationship. Had a guy picked out and everything. I said, okay, he got mad when I actually dated other people. That's what happened. His dad looked at him. Is that true? It's more complicated. Yes or no? Did you ask for an open relationship? Yes, but his dad held up a hand. I don't need to hear the rest. Let's get your things and go. They loaded boxes mostly in silence. His brother kept glaring but didn't say anything after his dad shut it down. As they were loading the last box, Alex turned back. You're going to regret this when you realize what you gave up. I gave up someone who wanted to cheat with permission and thought I'd just accept it. I think I'll survive. His dad actually gave me a small nod as they drove away, but I should have known that wouldn't be the end. The escalation had been absolutely insane, and I discovered things that made this whole situation even more messed up than I thought. A few days after the pickup, Alex's mom called. Her tone started sympathetic, then became accusatory. I can't believe you are doing this to him. He's devastated. I'm doing this to him? He's the one who demanded an open relationship. That's not the story I heard. He said you wanted to see other people, and he reluctantly agreed to save the relationship. Of course he did. That's a complete lie. He gave me an ultimatum, open relationship or breakup. Those were his options. He would never do that voluntarily. My daughter is loyal and loving. You're the one running around with other men while engaged. You were in an open relationship that he demanded. Ask his dad. He knows the truth. It's complicated, but you've broken his heart. You need to apologize and fix this. Fix what? I wanted to see someone else. I called his bluff. He didn't like it. That's not my problem. I made a mistake. You're supposed to forgive mistakes. That's what love is. His mistake was assuming I'd sit around while he tested other options. I'm not doing that. You've ruined his life over your ego. He ruined his own life. Maybe teach him that actions have consequences. She hung up, but the calls kept coming. His best friend texted long paragraphs, accusing me of manipulating the situation and purposely hurting him. His sister called me immature, saying I was playing games instead of being a woman. Some mutual friends reached out, clearly buying his version. According to their stories, I suddenly demanded an open relationship out of nowhere. He reluctantly agreed, and then I rubbed dates in his face to punish him. Complete fiction. I sent a message to the friend group. Since stories are circulating, here's what actually happened. I demanded an open relationship via ultimatum. He agreed. I expected him to stay faithful while I pursued someone else. When he actually dated, I tried to close it. I ended the engagement. That's the truth. Believe what you want. I lost a few friends who were closer to him, kept the ones who knew me well enough to ask questions. Then things got interesting. I got a Facebook message from someone I didn't know. Hey, I'm a coworker. We should probably talk. I accepted. About what happened. She's telling everyone at work you're abusive and controlling, freaking out constantly. I feel like I'm missing part of the story. What did she tell you? That we broke up because you couldn't handle her having male friends? That you got jealous and possessive? Interesting. Here's the real version. She told me she wanted an open relationship so she could pursue you without it being cheating. I agreed. She didn't expect me to actually date. When I did, she lost it. That's what happened. Long pause in the chat. Then she wanted to pursue me. That's what she told me. Said she had feelings for you, wanted the freedom to explore that. I had no idea. She's been really friendly, but I thought we were just coworkers. I have a girlfriend. Does she know about your girlfriend? I've mentioned her. Why? Just curious if she told you she was engaged. She said she was single. We've gotten coffee a few times. She asked me out to dinner last week, but I was busy. Oh, this is messed up, man. Yeah, it is. Do with this information what you want. We chatted a bit more. He seemed genuinely shocked, said he was going to create some distance from her at work. I didn't think much more about it until a few days later when I got an angry text from Alex. What did you say to him? He won't even talk to me now. You ruined everything. I told him the truth, that he wanted an open relationship to pursue him. If the truth ruins things, that's on you. You had no right. That was private. You're obsessed with destroying me. He messaged me first asking what happened. I was honest. Not my fault. He'd been lying to everyone. She called immediately. I sent it to voicemail. She left a screaming message about how I sabotaged her and was jealous that she was moving on. I blocked her number. Then I got a package in the mail from her mom. Inside was a letter and some photos. The letter was 4 pages of handwritten guilt-tripping about commitment, family values, forgiveness, second chances, and how I owed it to his daughter to try harder and be a woman. The photos were of us over the years, vacations, holidays, happy moments, with a note, remember what you're throwing away. The manipulation was stunning, but the letter also mentioned the ring. Apparently, Alex told his mom I stole his grandmother's ring and that I deserved to keep it because I'd already picked out a wedding dress to match it. The audacity! I didn't respond, just filed everything away. That weekend, the doorbell rang. It was Alex's dad alone. Can I come in? I let him in. Offered coffee. I owe you an apology. I've been talking to my daughter all week, getting different versions every time. Finally cornered her and made her tell me everything. She admitted she wanted the open relationship because she was interested in the coworker. She thought I'd refuse, and she'd have ammunition to leave. When I agreed, she panicked. When I actually dated, she spiraled. She was planning to leave anyway. I think she wanted me to be the bad guy, make it my fault. Instead, I called her bluff. Why tell me this? I asked. Because my wife and daughter are painting you as a monster. You're not. You took her at her word. That's on her. I appreciate you saying that. The ring is yours. Family heirloom. She has no claim. And if they keep harassing you, let me know. I'll handle it. We talked a bit more. He seemed genuinely embarrassed by his family's behavior. After he left, I met up with the teacher I'd been seeing. We went to this tiny Italian place, talked for hours, laughed until we couldn't breathe. He's smart, funny, doesn't play games. We made plans to see each other again soon. Got home feeling good for the first time in weeks. Then saw Alex's car in my driveway. He was on the porch waiting. We need to talk. No, we don't. Leave, please. 5 minutes, against my better judgment. Fine, 5. He stood up, looked rough. Dark circles, weight loss, messy hair. I messed up. I know I was stupid and selfish. I'm sorry. I want to fix this, please. There's nothing to fix. We can do counseling. I'll do anything. I love you. This isn't about love anymore. It's about respect. You tried to manipulate me, expected me to wait around while you explored other options. Got mad when I had self-respect. That's who you are. I'm not that person. I made one mistake. You made calculated choices. You wanted an escape plan with me as backup. You lied to your coworker about being engaged. You rewrote history to everyone. That's not a mistake. That's character. 4 years meant everything until you threw it away for someone who didn't even know you were taken. Yeah, I talked to him. He told me you claimed you were single. His face drained of color. You lied to him. You lied to me. You lied to your family. I'm done being manipulated. Leave my property. Don't come back. You're seeing someone, aren't you? That's none of your business anymore. You moved on so fast because I'm not waiting around hoping you'd choose me. You made your choice multiple times. I made mine. We're done. More crying. I didn't comfort him, just waited until he left. The next day, his mom called again. Voicemail accused me of taking advantage of his moment of weakness and manipulating him into wanting an open relationship. The mental gymnastics were Olympic level. I saved everything but didn't respond. His dad had the truth. That was enough. Then something unexpected happened that changed everything. Final update. It's been about 2 months since everything exploded. Week after that last confrontation, things went nuclear in a way I didn't see coming. His best friend showed up at my house unannounced, without Alex. I need to tell you something, and he'd kill me if he knew I was here. Okay. She's been planning this for months. The open relationship thing wasn't spontaneous. She handed me her phone. Screenshots. Lots of them. Group chat between Alex, his best friend, and his sister. Going back 4 months, messages about how he was bored in the relationship, how he needed excitement, how the coworker was exactly his type, discussions about how to set up an exit strategy without looking like the bad guy. The real kicker, a message from 3 months ago. I'm just going to tell him I want an open relationship. He'll either freak out and I can leave, or he'll agree and just sit there like always while I have fun. Either way, I win. Alex's sister had responded, "Genius. He'll never actually date anyone else. Too loyal." I stared at the screenshots, my hands were shaking. "Why are you showing me this?" Her best friend looked uncomfortable. "Because she's been lying to everyone, including me. She told us you were on board with this, that you both wanted it. Then, when you actually dated people, she lost her mind. Started saying you manipulated her into it, and you believed her at first. But then she started asking me to lie for her, to back up stories that didn't make sense. And I found these messages going back months. This wasn't a mistake or a moment of weakness. This was premeditated." "Can you send these to me?" I asked. She did. Every screenshot, the whole conversation thread. There's more. She's been telling people at work that I was abusive, that I controlled her finances, isolated her from friends, and tried to get sympathy from the coworker. I never controlled anything. I know. I was there. You paid for almost everything because you insisted. You encouraged her to go out with friends, but she's rewriting history. Why are you telling me this now? Because I'm done being part of her victim narrative. What she did to you was calculated and cruel. You deserve to know the truth. After she left, I sat with those screenshots for hours. The planning, the manipulation, the assumption that I'd just accept being a backup plan. I decided to document everything, saved all the messages, printed them, put together a timeline of her demands, her lies, and her admissions. I sent a final message to the mutual friend group with the screenshots attached. Since there's been a lot of misinformation, here's the actual timeline. She planned the open relationship demand for months, expected me to refuse or comply while she pursued someone else. When I took her seriously and dated, she tried to rewrite everything. These are her own words from months ago. Make of it what you will. The response was immediate. Friends who'd sided with her started apologizing. Others just went silent. A few unfollowed both of us. I lost the wedding venue deposit, lost some friendships, lost 4 years of my life to someone who saw me as a safety net. But I kept my self-respect, kept my house, kept my grandmother's ring for someone who will actually deserve it someday. The revenge wasn't complicated. I just took her at her word, agreed to what she demanded, refused to be manipulated when she tried to change the rules. Every consequence that followed was her own doing. She wanted freedom. She got it. She wanted to explore. She did. She just didn't want me to have the same freedom. When reality didn't match her fantasy, she fell apart. Her calculated plan to have her cake and eat it too crashed into the simple fact that I had enough self-respect to walk away. Last I heard through mutual friends, she's still at her parents' place, unemployed, telling anyone who will listen that I ruined her life. No mention of how she spent months planning to manipulate me. No acknowledgement that she's the one who demanded the open relationship. Just pure victim mentality. Meanwhile, I'm genuinely happy. New relationship built on honesty. Friends who actually have my back. Peace in my own home. The best part? I didn't have to plot or scheme or sabotage anything. I just respected her wishes, lived my life, and let her experience the natural results of her choices. She wanted an open relationship. I gave her one. She wanted to explore. She did. She wanted to test if the grass was greener. She found out it wasn't. And I found out exactly who she was. Someone willing to manipulate, lie, and rewrite history to avoid accountability. Someone who thought I'd always be there as Plan B. The engagement ring is back in the safe. The house is mine. The life is mine. And I'm building something real with someone who treats partnership like partnership, not like a strategy game. To anyone reading this in a similar situation, when someone gives you an ultimatum, sometimes the right answer is the one they don't expect. When someone demands something thinking you'll never agree, call their bluff. When someone tries to manipulate you, choose yourself. You might lose the relationship, but you'll keep your dignity, and that's worth infinitely more. Thanks for following along. This chapter's closed.